Hi, I'm Wolfman Jeff, and today I'm going to be reviewing, can you guess? Yep, Rocky 4. I'm going to continue reviewing this franchise. Sorry if it's getting a little old, just bear with me, we don't have too many more movies to go, and I just want to kind of get this franchise out and get it done with. So today, the review is going to be Rocky 4. I'm just going to start by telling you my honest opinion of Rocky 4. Rocky 4 isn't my least favorite in the Rocky franchise, but it's the Rocky film in the series that I think sort of jumped the shark. The basic story is a boxer from Russia, a boxer from Russia, Ivan Draco, and Rocky Balboa fight, and basically the outcome is for the glory of whichever country wins. And obviously, it's going to be Rocky who wins. It's going to be the U.S. who prevails because, let's face it, they're not going to have Russia win, especially in the 80s. They're not going to have that done now. I don't think audiences would have been too thrilled with Rocky losing and the U.S. looking like a bunch of assholes. So that alone, I think, kind of took out some of the interest, for me at least, because you knew who was going to win. When I watch a Rocky movie, I like to think that Rocky has been kind of realistic up until that point. Rocky, he didn't even win the match. Rocky 2, he won, but again, he barely won. Rocky 3, his first match with Clubber Lang, he lost. He did win his second match, but he had to get the eye of the tiger back. In this movie, you watched it, you saw the poster, you saw the trailers, you knew without a shadow of a doubt Rocky Balboa was going to win. So, if you know how the movie's going to end, it does take a little bit of it away, I think. That's why sometimes people complain about superhero movies, and rightfully so, because, realistically, a lot of times the main character isn't going to die because they want to keep using him for sequels or spin-offs or whatever. The worst that will happen is they recast him. So I think that was the point where Rocky Balboa lost a little bit of his connection with the average moviegoers. It's not necessarily that it was a bad movie, but a lot of people disliked it partially because of that, because we could always relate to Rocky Balboa. In Rocky 4, you couldn't relate to him. He basically became a superhero. He was Captain America in a sense. He wasn't someone like me who, if they wanted to, they could be, maybe not boxing, but they could be the top of their field. He was a normal guy in the first 3 movies with a lot of heart, and he tried. He worked hard. It wasn't necessarily like any of that was given to him, but he was willing to work for it. Rocky 4, you knew he was going to have to win. And it was so, not to say that people can't get hurt or have gotten killed boxing or wrestling. It's happened. But they made the advisory, the antagonist in the movie, Ivan Draco, so unrealistic that he was basically a comic book villain. And that's not something that you should do in a franchise like Rocky. Rocky should be grounded in life. It should be down to earth. It should be relatable. And they also, in Rocky 4, kind of swayed away from, at least in my interpretation, his relationship between, Paulie, his brother-in-law, and his wife, Adrian, and it didn't seem as realistic. It didn't seem like it was as organic. It seemed very scripted, and that's something the Rocky movies had never really felt before. They'd always kind of felt natural, and when you start making it feel like a movie, that's something that the Rambo franchise had problems with, because they began to kind of get out there. And by Rambo 3, it got ridiculous. And Rocky 4 was made around the same time, and it suffered from the same fate as the Rambo franchise. It just got unrealistic. But it wasn't a horrible movie as far as watching it. It just didn't connect, though. And that's why a lot of people love the movie. A lot of people even preferred Rocky 4 to the other Rocky movies. Some people, especially in my age group, will say Rocky 4 is their favorite Rocky movie. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinions. I'm not saying they're wrong by any means. You like what you like. I'm just giving my opinion right now, too. But I think, as far as holding up and the test of time, I think that's why Rocky still is considered a franchise. Sorry. It is a franchise, but I think that's why it's considered a classic overall. Whereas Rocky 4 is just maybe a fun movie. And it can be fun. It had James Brown doing, the Coming to America, and that was fun to see. I mean, it was fun at times. I'm not going to deny it. It just lacked heart. So while Rocky 4, I wouldn't say it's a pass, but I would not say it's a must see. I would not recommend it unless you have seen the other Rocky movies and you want to continue to see the story of Rocky. And it did grow Rocky as far as a character, but only slightly. Only a little bit. And the Rocky movies up until then have always grown him quite a lot. That's part of the reason they made the movies, because it's kind of been a character study, and when they took the character study and gave it a back seat, it hurt the film. So, yeah, I mean, use your discretion. Rocky 4, not terrible, not great. See it if you want. But, don't be in any rush. This is Wolfman Jeff. Thanks again for the support. You guys know I love you, okay? Take care. Thank you.